So you've brought up these other markets, and I think it is really interesting to get to peek into consumer behavior across your data
Sure.
because you get to see the POS data in places like Illinois and Missouri and New York and California and all these different states. And there is distinct behavior in these markets. We see high level market data that's showing that the average basket size in these markets are different. And I'm wondering how much of that is driven by the consumer behavior itself, in your opinion, versus fueled by like policy or regulations that kind of dictate the way that a transaction can take place and how comfortable it might feel for a consumer? Like, what is driving these market differences, and what are some of the ones that you could point out?
Yeah, I think classic is new market, mature market, right? So let's say California, let's take New York just as an example. Regulations have a huge influence on these buying trends. It's just, there's no doubt, in my opinion. One example, right? Let's just take a normal KPI for a retailer, AOV, right? You look at AOV by channel, it's something that I spend a lot of time on in store, mobile app, e-com, kiosk, right? What does that look like? We're seeing much larger online orders in New York than California. There's just no doubt. I think California, we're running just under about 90 on the AOV right now. New York, we're pushing about 100, 110 on an average order. Why? It's I think over time, the new market people are really excited to shop a different way. I think there's some things going in there, but at the same time, New York is requiring for any online order, any delivery rather, I should say, like prepayment. And so we're seeing delivery online orders like even higher, like in the $1.30 range for AOV
Mm.
versus a California market, which doesn't require any prepayment. You can pay upon delivery, right? It's a very basic use case that's been around for a long time. And I think AOV differences are happening as a result. We know from our data set that if you have a payment outside of cash attached to the transaction, likely you're going to get a 20 to sometimes 35% increase in the cart value. So these kind of forcing functions of, hey, this has got to be prepaid, you can't pay upon delivery, like these will change the buying habits for consumers. And because they're buying more, they may come back less, right? And so everything starts to shift and move around just a regulation like that.
That's such an interesting, like, specific topic to think about because I remember the early days of ordering from Ease, and they just didn't have payment processing, so it was purely based on cash because it had to be. And then I know that every time they implemented a new payment processing system, it was just a matter of time before it got shut down again and you got forced back into paying cash. So I'm elated to hear that there are markets where they absolutely rely on cashless payment.
Yep.
What a fantastic evolution.